them in a physical situation which is not good. So to say this, we have the green books. I brought some with me, and Jane is going to tell something about the contents of the book. And I hope that everybody is able to get one. If there's not enough, the organizations look for how you could get one. But de wegwijzer, huiselijk geweld Zuidoost, give links. It gives hands out for people who wants to better. If there are men in violent situation, they can make contact to several organizations or institutes to see how to better things. Because I'm not preaching that women and men should separate. I'm preaching for peace in the house. And when we talk peace in the house, we talk about gender and we talk about equality. That means everybody is equal. And I see some men sitting here, and I think that when they look around and they see the women around them, they should notice there is a beautiful, beautiful persons with personalities. And we got to cherish them, not to violate them, not to bring them down, but bring them up. Because that is your task as a man. Lift her up and the rest will be okay. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you, Mrs. Linda. As we don't have much time, I'm going to pass the mic to Ms. Shiripinda. As you see the program, we're actually behind. So I'm going to pass the mic to her so that she can give us a bit of information about HIV and AIDS. Please still take your notes down and then you can have the questions later. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to talk a little bit about sexuality, and just to link my talk to what Linda was saying, we heard about genders, and she said, what is gender? Gender is how men and women are expected to behave in a certain culture. So it doesn't necessarily mean that if you're expected, where do you come from, if I may ask? You?
Oh, me?
Yes, please.
I come from Almeria.
Before you came to Almeria, I mean. Like where you
was...
get your beautiful black color from? Originally, your ancestors?
From Africa.
Or some country in Africa. Do you know which country you came from in Africa? Because it's very big, Africa.
That is Uganda.
Uganda. Okay, can men, are men supposed to cook in Uganda?
It depends.
Okay, and where do you come from?
From the same country.
A normal man in Uganda, does he stand in the kitchen and cook? Yes or no? No difficult
That's
answers.
a dogma.
Excuse me. It depends how we really interact with you.
Okay, but culturally speaking, will people appreciate it if they see you standing in the kitchen is my question.
As I say, it's a dogma, it's something undone.
Oh, okay, it is something undone. So, and in Holland, I see a white man here. Maybe he's from Aruba, I don't know, but I want to assume you're from Holland. Where are you from? From Netherlands. Super, super. Can Dutch people, if you are seen cooking in the kitchen, is that normal?
Yes, very normal.
So my question is, a man from Uganda, if he suddenly comes to Holland and he marries a white sister, do we have some white sisters in the house from Holland? We don't really have today, but his sister at home. So if the man from Uganda would marry his sister, his Dutch white sister who is at home today, if you marry her and she says, you know what, we zijn in Netherlands, you have to cook as well. Does it mean you become a woman?
That's a matter of adoption.
No, but do you become a woman?
No.
So we see these things are not fixed. They are not attached to your biology. So in conclusion, I can say you don't need breasts to cook. You don't need breasts to clean. Yeah, is that what you are talking about.
No, do you need a white woman?
And you don't have to be white to stand in the kitchen. Amen, brother. And linking that to our biology, there are certain behaviors that men in any culture are expected to fulfill. A real man in, where do you come from? You, yes, you. From Uganda. Are they only Ugandans? Kenya, okay. What does a real man do sexually in Kenya? If other men can think you are cool, what are you supposed to do sexually?
Who, the man or the woman?
The men.
Sexually?
Yeah.
What they do to the women?
Yeah, also.
I mean sex? What?
Yeah. A real man, to say this is a true Kenyan man, besides the Maasai, what are they supposed to do? I can tell you something from where I come from. I come from Zimbabwe. A real man should have a big one. A real man should be able to do it 2 or 3 times a night. Like a big royal highness, you know, like what's between your legs. Yes. A real man should be able to have children. So if you can't get children, you are not a man. Other things, what does a real man do in Uganda?
Support the family.
He must be the breadwinner. And if he's not, does he become a woman?
No.
Okay. And sexually again, what can a real man do? Let's say he's from the west of Uganda, because I know they do very nice things sexually there.
Talk of the center where I come.
No, somebody from the west of Uganda in the house.
How did you know that?
You know, men from Western Uganda travel throughout the world.
Wow.
So don't try to dig into my sexual life. That's none of your business. Can you please just stick to the question? You woman from Uganda, what things have you heard about men from West Uganda? The men and women, what do they do sexually? Tell us a few of the good things. I know we are going to have a big outstrom, how do you say? A lot of people migrating to the west of Uganda after this free advertisement.
What would you like to know?
Sexually, what are they well known for from the west of Uganda?
They are known to be good in bed.
How do you know that a man is good from the west of Uganda? What must he do that people can say, wow, that one he can do it good?
Personally?
No. If you want to share a personal testimony, I love those as well. But you can also just tell us what they do in Western Uganda.
I will not go into that because I have different views about men and Western
Uganda.
men. But personally, if a man is good to me, everything is good. It doesn't matter what his tricks are.
Okay. I can see these men don't know how to do what is done by men from Western Uganda. I'll tell you what a good man from Western Uganda is supposed to do. I understand when they make love with a woman, they should be able to make a woman produce water that fills this cup. So you must arouse. Are you from Western Uganda? Hold your horses. You didn't give an answer. Keep quiet. And have you had experiences with the men from Uganda? You hear? Okay. I said I don't want to specify where my experience is coming from or where the information is coming from. But what I'm telling you is the truth. I can see the sister going like, yes, yes, yes. And I will not say which sister, but I can see there's evidence in the house. So a man from Western Uganda is supposed to arouse a woman so much that this cup can get full of the fluids from the woman. So they play with their jiggly or whatever you want to call it at the door of the woman until the water practically runs. Yeah? And those are things that are expected from those gender paradigms she was talking about. So a real man from Western Uganda will strive to try and achieve that, including all the other unpleasant things we were talking about. Like if you are a real bull, you should be able to say, I have children by Iris, I have children by Veronica, I also made a baby with a Monica, and I also, are those not things that you are smiling? Do you know your friends whom you really think are cool because they did that? Or your neighbors or other people you don't know any? But is this something we identify with? That men who do that are really looked upon as real bulls. Do we recognize that or not? One sister is saying, true. You brothers, do you recognize this? And long ago, or maybe still, when a man would get a sexually transmitted infection, where I come from, it was a sign that you are sexually active, that you are doing it, that you are a bull. And not just that men are encouraging each other. No. Also women, some of the women would also say, oh, you know, that one, he makes really beautiful babies. And he's very fertile. He has a child by Iris, by Monica, by Susan, by Baba. All those things, glorifying them. So I'm not only saying men do them, but also women within certain cultures. There are things that we can glorify that put us at risk, such as those particular things. In some cultures, when you beat up your wife, you are a real man. Or not? Have you heard of such things?
Yes.
If you run away with the pin pass, like she was saying, and you have to accompany to Albertine or Dirk van den Broek or said 1,000 there, with the pin pass, you are a real man because you are controlling the budget. I am not saying it's only the fault of men. It can also be the fault of women. But my main question is, what do we have to benefit if we try to resolve these issues? What do we have to benefit when we question some of the things that we think are cool? Do you think men necessarily want to make 10 babies by 5 different women? You are a man. Do you think, is that something that you think many men would want?
No. No.
Are you men? What's your problem? Yes, a man here.
No, it's not good.
No, why not? We are only talking about the neighbors. I know you are a good man. I'm just thinking of the neighbors and the people in your community. What's zero graves?
Zero graves.
What does that mean?
Being one person. Having one person all your life.
So they think you're a weak man if you only keep one woman. Yeah. You are saying yes, yes. You want to add more?
Yeah, because you get mixed talents.
You get mixed what?
Mixed talents.
Can you explain this? What mixed talents can you get from women?
If I have a red who has extra features, and then if I get another one who has extra features, if I get two men, I have two of mixed features, and this one mixed talent.
Okay. So these are things that are connected to gender. Eh? So men are expected, whether by other men but also by women, to do certain things that can actually put them at risk, like we are hearing. What about women? We said there are some things that are connected with men. More women, maybe having sex with more partners, whatever. That's how men are supposed to behave. What about women? Sexually. In Uganda, we go back to Uganda. Is it cool? Let's say, what's your name, beautiful woman? Beautiful and I'm sure also intelligent. You? No, okay, she's not from Uganda. Where are you from? What? Beautiful! I thought, hey, she can only come from Zimbabwe, this beautiful one, she's lying. But anyway, I just want to know from you, let's say you are marrying, you're about to marry some handsome guy who is somewhere there in the back.
From West Uganda.
Yes. Oh yeah, those ones are very nice. Let's say you're about to marry. As a woman, what do you think the mother would find nice? And his 100 relatives sitting somewhere there in Africa. Do you think as a woman, let's say you're not a virgin, and you've had 11 men, is this something you would tell your mother-in-law and your boyfriend? Let's assume your boyfriend is that one. Tell him you are just about to marry. Tell us what you would tell, if you would tell about your 11 lovers before or whatever. Tell. Okay.
Tell me.
Tell us what you'd tell, if you are going to tell him about your 11 lovers or you are going to lie or whatever, and then tell us why you told him what you said.
I've only had a few.
A few, how many?
It depends how you, what do you mean? I mean, what do you want?
A few, you had a few, about 20?
No, I mean like, I've had relationships. Those are the ones that count. The other ones don't really count because they were not relationships. I've had 2 relationships.
And the rest?
Don't count.
The rest
okay, stop. Why 2? You had 11. Why are you saying you had 2 and not 11?
11 is too much.
Too much for what? Can you explain why, as a woman, you are saying you had 2 instead of 11? What are you scared of? What do you think are the repercussions as a woman if you say I had 11?
That you're not a good woman.
Okay, you are not a good woman. You sleep around. And you want to marry the woman behind you. And you had 30 contacts. Tell her what you tell her before you marry. Yes, the lady behind you, that beautiful one.
Yeah, what you have to do.
You were telling her, not
You were telling her.
Which one? You want to have 2 women?
No, I said
You were playing.
You are now
very
saying.
beautiful. Because I'm very beautiful, I have only you.
What? So you are telling her you are a virgin. So we know you have had that relationship.